It is your boy again, Joel, wishing you a beautiful day in the beautiful city of Lagos. How have you been? In one of the clips previously, I promised you that I will give you the types of subordinate clauses. We have paid attention to subordinate conjunctions. We have seen what a clause is. And we have also seen what subordinate clauses are. Among them, we are taking one today, which is noun clause. For you to benefit maximally from this class while you watch this video, please get your paper, pen, and mind ready. You have 10 seconds to do that.
Greatness. It's another one. It's Victor DJ Neptune. It's your big vibe. Why you see the vex? Cool temper. Why you see the para? Like so you create yourself. My brother cool down. No they worry about tomorrow. I one lifetime we get. Nobody wear the bottle. Hey, I want drink up, drink up, drink up, drink up.
Yes, you're welcome back with the materials and mind required. One should ask the question, what is a noun clause? If you remember what a noun is, then you will be able to define what a noun clause is because we just treated what clauses are. As a reminder, a noun clause is a group of words that has a finite verb and acts as a noun in a sentence. In other words, a noun clause is a subordinate conjunction or rather a subordinate clause or a dependent clause that works as a noun in a sentence. So as a subordinate clause, it works as a noun in a sentence. That is a noun clause. It can serve as an object, as a subject, in a positive position, or as a complement. Let's look at these examples of noun clauses. Pay attention to this particular one because you are going to learn from it. That Hikma makes her teacher laugh does not mean she is playful. What does it mean that Hikma is playful? That she makes her teacher laugh. So this type of noun clause or is called what? Or this type of underlying expression is called noun clause. And this type of noun clause functions as what? Subject or the verb does. So we are going to find out throughout this video. I will be letting you know what is meant by grammatical name and grammatical function. But know that all the grammatical names treated in this video, in this clip, are all noun clauses. I have to put them for you to know that it is necessary when it is required. Because by the time we are done with the remaining types of subordinate clauses, you will be required to insert grammatical name to differentiate one from the rest and the function it plays in the sentence. Let's look at this second sentence example. We have, you can do what you like. You can do what? What you like. So what you like is serving as object of the verb do. So without much ado, you know that the grammatical name is what? Noun clause. And what you like there functions as object of the verb do. So we have a lot to learn when it comes to this clip today. Just get yourself ready, take notes as at when necessary with you. You are free to pause a clip at any time to make some notes. One should not ask, what are the functions of a noun clause in the sentence? I just hinted you previously, but let's look at the real functions of noun clause now. Let's take a look at this. As subject of a verb or as object of a verb. We have object of a preposition, as subject complement, as object complement, and as an appositive noun. You grab that right? Good. Let's continue and find out how we can use each of these or identify them in various sentences. How to identify noun clauses in complex sentences is another thing we need to find out. For us to identify noun clauses, note that they always begin with sentence words, and most of the words they begin with are the words we use to ask questions. Words like who, what, why, where, when, etc. So the most common of these, they are the ones we just brought out. Who did this must come to confess. Who must come to confess? Who did this? What he is asking of is what I do not know. What do I not know? What he is asking of. I don't know why he is moody. What do I not know? Why he is moody? Where he put his where he put the pen is what I'm still going to find out. What I'm still going to find out, where he put the pen. So you can see that we use most of the question words to start to identify noun clauses. But there is what? A clause, the lawyer clause, which I'll let you know very soon. Let's pay attention to some other words that begin the noun clauses. We have pronouns that begin noun clauses. We see that we can also begin noun clauses with pronouns such as what? Which, that, whoever, whatever, wherever, and whenever. So these are words that can also begin noun clauses. For example, whoever did this must confess. Who must confess? Whoever did this. Whatever I do is not your business. What is not your business? Whatever I do. So you can see that they are there. Remember what a noun is. A noun is a name in a sentence. So all these expressions, once they start a subordinate clause, they must serve as what? A name in the sentence. When they do that, we say they are noun clauses. But take note, it is essential to understand that just because you see one of these words does not mean that the word is automatically beginning a noun clause. When I define the type of a given clause, be careful that you look at each function first before you just say it's a noun clause, not just the word. A clause beginning with the same words as a noun clause may have a different function. Look at this example. Where I come from is not important. What is not important? Where I come from is a noun clause. The town where I come from is famous. The town is famous. That is the sentence. But I want to describe the town. The town, which town? Where I come from. So where I come from there, we don't automatically give you noun clause. It is adjectival clause describing the town. So we have to be very watchful to find out the functions. What does the noun do in the sentence? As a subject, as an object, as object complements, as subject complements, object of a preposition, a position. So you remember all these ones. I know that as time goes on, when you watch all the clips again, the previous one and this and the future ones, you will be highly acclimatized to what to do in these categories. Thank you very much for paying attention to this. Let's proceed now. Clauses as subject of a verb. As subject of a verb, what is a subject or grammatical subject? In other words, what is a subject of a sentence? A subject of a sentence is that part of the sentence that does the action. If the verb in the sentence is an action word, that is transitive verb, then the subject is the one that performs the action. But if the verb in the sentence is not a transitive verb, it is a stating verb, non-conclusive verb, then the subject is a part of the sentence that is discussed. Let's watch some examples here. Whoever leaves last should turn off the lights. Who should turn off the lights? Whoever leaves last. Here we have what? A transitive verb. Verb turn. There is an action there. So who performs the action or who should perform this action? I know you have identified that it's a grammatical, rather noun clause as grammatical name. But what is the function? You will ask, who should perform the action? Definitely you know is what? Whoever leaves last. Therefore, it functions as subject of the verb turn. Did you grab that? You can rewind and play the video to hear that again. Let's proceed to another example. Whose pen it is not my business. What is not my business? Whose pen it is? Well, you know that we are talking about what noun clauses. So the grammatical name is what noun clause. But what is its function? We have to be very careful here. You can see that we have already underlined whose pen it is. That is a subordinate clause that is serving as noun clause grammatically here. But what is its function? Is there an action in this business in this sentence? No, no action. But there is a statement. Whose pen it is not my business. So you are smart. I know you will say it's what subject of a sentence. Yes, it's a subject. But subject of what? Subject of the verb is. Now there's a little confusion there. There are two is. One is the subordinate clause, while the other is not underlined. So anytime you want to talk about functions of subordinate clauses, The function does not have anything to do with any of the word excepted or underlined. The function depends or works on other words that are not under or one of the words in the subordinate clause. So let's watch out on this. Very, very important. We proceed. I believe you grabbed that right. Good. We proceed to noun clause as object of a verb. What is object of a verb or object of a sentence? An object is that part of a sentence that receives an action, which means an object is only present when there is a transitive verb, that is, an action that is performed by a subject and is going to another thing. So, an object explains what is received. It could be direct objects. The direct object receives the action of the verb. Indirect object receives indirect object. We even have objects of prepositions that receive prepositions. Well, we are going to treat these categories differently. Object, direct, then the indirect object, we are going to treat it as complement. And we'll talk about what object of prepositions. But let's look at what object of a verb. Example, my dog will eat whatever food I give him. What will my dog eat? Whatever food I give him. So undoubtedly, you know it is what? Noun clause grammatically, and it functions as object of the verb eat because it receives the action eat that is performed by the dog. Next, we have I do whatever I like. What do I do? Whatever I like. So whatever I like is a clause. Why? Because like is a verb. Subordinate clause because of the whatever. Now, you know very well that we are talking about what noun clauses as grammatical name. Why is it a noun clause? Because it's serving as object of the verb do. I believe it is understood. So what you should know is that noun clauses function as nouns in sentences as subject object. But here we are focusing our attention on what? Object now. Object receives an action that is performed, just as we have on this. It receives the action performed by I, and that is why object of the verb do. It functions as object of the verb do as a noun clause. Is that understood? Good students. Let's proceed. As a position. When we talk about a position, we oh sorry, it's preposition as object of the preposition. When we talk about preposition, we refer to a preposition giving action or giving action to an object. Let's look at these examples. Choose a gift for whomever you want. Choose a gift for who? Whomever you want. So what would you say? Object of the preposition for. It is very simple. So don't forget that. Here we can say choose a gift. Choose is the verb here. The subject of this sentence is implied. You choose a gift. You subject, choose verb, a gift object, direct object. But there is a preposition for who, whomever you want. Whom receives the action that is performed by you, that is the action choose. But it is for that is introducing it. Therefore, we say whom is object of the preposition for as a noun clause. Let's see if we can take further examples. We have the teacher always gives the marker to whomever raises hands first. Who does the teacher give the marker to? Whomever raises hand first. So we say this is what object of the preposition to, and once it serves as object of preposition to, automatically it is a noun clause. I guess that is okay. Then the next one is a positive noun. When a noun is in a position or a noun clause is in a position, it shows that the noun rests on the function of or depends on another to work. Yes, it depends on another. It is the same noun that is stated. The noun that is stated has another expression that is brought about. Look at this sentence. The idea that will retain the school bus is out of consideration. We could say that we retain the school bus is out of consideration, or the idea is out of consideration. Well, let's what are some things here? One might say this is adjectival clause because it is describing the idea. But the idea is the same thing as what? That to retain the school bus. Therefore, it is in opposition to the subject, the idea, which also serves as what? A noun. I don't know if that is clear. We are trying to say here that we retain the school bus is the same expression as the idea. It's not only describing, but it is the same. It is saying it in another way that will retain the school bus. So we take that as what? A noun. Even if we remove the idea, that will retain the school bus is out of consideration. What will you say? Noun clause. As what? Subject of the verb is. But there is a noun before it. We will not say it is subject of the verb is again. We will now say it is in apposition to the noun idea. Let's see if we take this example. My decision for you to apologize to the other student stands. One could say my decision stands, right? Good. But one would also say that it could be an adjective clause because it's describing decision. But if we say for you to apologize to the other student stands, does it not make meaning? Yes, it stands alone. It's okay. For that note, we could also use this certain example as a noun clause in apposition to decision. Is it clear? Excellent. So you use your quotation mark to close that decision. Let's see if we can take another one here. We have, okay, those are the examples we have. Let's write on. Now clauses as complements. Remember we talked about complements. Here, complement is used when there is no action actually, but we want to focus attention on two complements: subject complement and object complement. When we talk about subject complement, what comes to our mind is that there is a subject, there is a verb, and there is a clause. But the verb here is not an action verb. Therefore, the clause that will come should not be an object. Look at this example. My hope is that everyone here becomes friends. What's my hope? That everyone here, assuming we had my hope went lost. When it is an action, that also, if the verb is here were to be an action word, the underlying expression would have been an object. But because verb is not an action word, the underlying expression is not an object. Rather, it completes the subject, my hope. I don't know if that is clear. So what you should learn here is very simple. Focus attention on the function. Remember, this subject complement always comes when there is a not conclusive verb, or let me say verb family, verb is, am, are, were, was. Any expression that comes after this in a sentence like this, they are not verbs. They are always serving as complements to the subject. Let's go to object complement this time around. An object complement, this time around, we have an object. An object has already received an action, but this, it will not introduce us to an indirect object, and that is why we call it object complement. For example, he gave me what I needed. We can say he gave what I needed, but who did he give? He gave me. What I needed is now complementing what? The pronoun me. It's very simple, right? Good. So what you should do is, if there's any point that is not clear here, just go straight, look for my email there or my number. Feel free, contact me, and I'll explain in a different way that you may understand. So what I will be saying so far, we have is saying that a noun clause is a group of expressions that has a finite verb and functions as a noun in the sentence. It can function as what? Subject of a sentence, object, complement, apposition, and object of a preposition. So whichever one you choose, always remember the functions of nouns. So the functions of nouns in the sentence are also the function of noun clauses in the sentence. It is the function that will actually guide you to identify the grammatical name that you are going to give. That we have used these slides as grammatical names does not actually mean that other slides will use them that way, but we may give you some quiz later so that you'll be able to differentiate which is which. Now, this is a noun clause. Why? You will give the reason. Command-based evidence, right? So that's what we're going to do. So if you have actually paid attention and enjoyed this clip, do not forget to subscribe. But before then, I leave you in the hands of Neptune. Enjoy your day.
Greatness. It's another one. It's Victor Eddie, DJ Neptune. It's your big vibe. Why you see the vex? Cool temper. Why you see the bother? Like so you create yourself. My brother cool down. No they worry about tomorrow. Now one life that we get. Nobody wear the bottle. Hey, I want drink up, drink up, drink up, drink up. Call them guys, let them come and link up. I'm a drink up, drink up, drink up, drink up. Tomorrow go come now for those who sleep, wake up. Oh no, no, no. Then I for like to talk about government, and I for like to talk about stress, and I for like to talk about traffic, and I for like to talk about family and problem and poverty they hold them. I don't say blessings go surely locate them. They do my go bless them. I dey think about us, I go they accept them. I say no they accept me, and I want to know, and I want to know why you see the best. Cool temper. Why you see the banner? Like so you create yourself. My brother cool down. No they worry about tomorrow. Now one life that we get. Nobody wear the bottle. Hey, I want drink up, drink up, drink up, drink up. Call them guys, let them come and link up. I'm a drink up, drink up, drink up, drink up. Tomorrow go come now for those who sleep, wake up. No, 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 no. Say today no come. If I don't know, say yesterday no too bad. If today no come. If I don't get mad, they complain for you back. I dey try to reason with you, at the same time reason for you. I'm a photo. I dey try to stand by you, I don't fit to die for you. If I get my family and problem and poverty they hold them, I don't say blessings to surely locate them. Everybody go bless them. I dey think about us, I go they accept them. I say no they accept me, and I want to know, and I want to know. Hey, I want drink up, drink up, drink up, drink up.
One time.
All of them guys, let them come and link up.
Let's go.
I want drink up, drink up, drink up, drink up.